Yes, a very good morning to all my dear students. Today, once again, on behalf of Bruha Mumbai Municipal Corporation Education Department, I welcome you all for the statewide online lectures. Today, we are going to see the chapter number 8, that is Cell Biology and Biotechnology from Science Part 2nd. Today, we are going to see the topic that is cytology, stem cells, organ transplantation, and organ and body donation. Myself, Mrs. Samina Ibrahim Kazi, and we will be learning the chapter number 8, that is cell biology and biotechnology. So before starting with our today's point, let us recall what is a cell. As you all know, cell is the basic unit of body. Okay, all living things, they are made up of cells. Cells are the smallest working units of all living things. Okay, either it is a unicellular organism or it is a multicellular organism. So cell is the basic unit of every living thing. All cells, they come from the pre-existing cells through the cell division. If we define cell, cell is the smallest unit that is capable of performing life functions. Okay, cell is the smallest unit which is capable of performing the different life functions. Then, do you know what is tissue? Tissues are the group of similar cells that are specialized to perform a specific function. Okay, when the cells come together in a group, then they are performing similar functions. Then it is called as the tissue. Okay, how tissues are formed? Tissues are formed by the group of cells which are performing similar functions. Last year, we have learned the different types of tissues. If you remember, some of them I have written here: epithelial tissues, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Okay. So let's start with our today's point. The very first thing, that is the cell organelles. What are cell organelles? These are the different organs of the cell. Okay. They are within the cell, like mitochondria, nucleus, ribosomes. Okay, these are the parts of the cell which are performing the cell functions. So what is cytology? Cytology is the study of cell division and many other aspects of the cell. Okay, cytology is responsible for studying the different cell divisions and the different aspects of the cell. So many research institutes are being established, are being dedicated for the research on the cells. Just like at Pune and at Bengaluru, National Center for Cell Science, they are being established at Pune, and in STEM, it is an institute for stem cell science and regenerative medicine. What is the full form of INSTEM? It is the Institute for Stem Cell Science and Regenerative Medicine. It is at Bengaluru. So these institutes, they are being completely involved in the research about the cells. So let us see the very first point, that is the stem cells. Now what are stem cells? These are the special types of cells which are present in the body of multicellular organisms. Okay, these are the special type of cells which are present in the multicellular organisms. These cells give rise to all the other type of cells present in the body of multicellular organisms. Okay, as we can say them, they are the basic. Okay, they are at the beginning. The stem cells, they are responsible for giving rise to the other types of cells which are present in the multicellular organisms. Similarly, these cells play an important role in wound healing. Okay, if the body cause any injury, so that can be healed with the help of these stem cells. We have studied the stem cells of plants in the previous class. Now, today we are going to learn the stem cells in the animals, and especially in the human beings. New organism, it is formed from the zygote, that is formed by the union of male and female gamete. Okay, every living organism, every new organism, it is formed from the zygote. What is zygote? It is a fertilized eukaryotic cell which is formed after the union of male and female gamete. Okay, zygote is formed by the union of male and female gamete. So at the earliest stage of development, organism is in the form of a mass of cells. All the cells in that mass are almost alike. Those cells are called as the stem cells. Okay. At the initial development, at the early stage of development of the organism, it is in the form of a mass of cell. Okay. And in that mass, all the cells, they are alike, they are same. So those cells, they are called as the stem cells. During further development, these cells form any type of cell, different types of tissues, and perform different functions in the body. Okay, just now what we have seen, that at the earliest stage, the organism, it is in the form of just a mass of cell. Okay, that is called as the stem cell, because all the cells, they are alike at this stage. But as the further development occurs, then you can see that these cells, they can form different types of cells, they can form different types of tissues, and they can perform the different functions in the body. Okay, here you can see the different cells like muscle cell, fat cell, bone cell, blood cell, nervous cell, epithelial cell, immune cell, sex cell. Okay, so there are many cells are developed. Okay, and the further they are being developed into different types of tissues, and they are being able to perform the different functions in the body. So this is called the differentiation of stem cells. Okay, what it is called? It is called as the differentiation of stem cells. However, once the tissues are formed, the cells in those tissues at the most can form same type of cells only. Okay, once the tissues, they are being formed, so they can go back and they can form the cells only of one type. Okay, so this is the case in each part of the body. However, stem cells are present for longer duration in some part of the body. Okay, the stem cells, they can be present for a longer duration in some part of the body. Then the stem cells are present in the umbilical cord, by which the fetus is joined to the uterus of the mother. Okay, where is the stem cell? It is present in the umbilical cord. What this cord? Where is this cord? It is the connection between the fetus and the uterus of the mother. Okay, the fetus and the uterus of the mother is being joined by this umbilical cord. So here you can see the stem cells, they are being present. The stem cells are also present in the blastocyst stage of embryonic development. Okay, what is blastocyst? Blastocyst, it is formed after the 3 days after fertilization in a normally embryo, which exists of about 6 to 10 cells. Okay, blastocyst is what? It is a small structure which is formed after the 3 days of fertilization. Okay, after the first fertilization, small embryo like it is being formed, and it is containing 6 to 10 cells. Okay, so these stem cells, they are present in this blastocyst stage of embryonic development. Then the stem cells are present in the red bone marrow. Okay, where it is present? It is also present in the red bone marrow. What is the red bone marrow? Red bone marrow contains the blood stem cells that can become red blood cells or they can form platelets. Okay, the red bone marrow, they contain the blood stem cells that can further form the red blood cells or they can form the platelets. So here the stem cells are being present in the red bone marrow. Also, the stem cells are present in the adipose connective tissue of adult human beings. Okay, they are being present in the adipose connective tissues of adult human beings. It has become possible to produce different types of tissues and the degenerative part of any organ with the help of these stem cells. Okay, only because of these stem cells we are able to produce the different types of tissues. If there is any damage to any part of the body, any organ or any tissue, so they can be healed up or they can be able to, we can modify them or we can help them by with the help of this stem cells. Okay, so stem cell preservation, it is very important. For the purpose of preservation, stem cell samples are carefully collected from the sources like the cord blood, red bone marrow, or embryo, that is blastocyst, and are kept in the small sterile wells. So those wells are kept in the liquid nitrogen at a temperature of about minus 135 degrees Celsius to minus 190 degree Celsius. Okay, as the stem cells, they are being very helpful. So we need to preserve them. We need to protect them. So for this preservation purpose, the stem cells, they are being carefully collected from different sources like cord blood, or from the red bone marrow or from the embryo, and they are being kept in sterile wells. Okay, and these wells, they are being kept in the liquid nitrogen at a temperature of about minus 135 degrees Celsius to minus 190 degree Celsius. Now the next point, that is stem cell research. In biotechnology, stem cell research is a revolutionary event after cloning. This technique has the potential of bringing about the fundamental changes in the medical science. Okay, the stem cell research, it has brought a revolutionary event, okay, in the branch of biotechnology. Okay, so it is being very essential to learn the different researches which are being done in the stem cell. Okay, so depending upon the different sources, the stem cells are of two types, as embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. Okay, so the very first one we are going to learn, that is the embryonic stem cells. Division of the zygote starts and thereby it is converted into embryo. Okay, once the zygote is formed because of the fusion of male and female gametes. So once the zygote is formed, it undergoes the division and it is converted into embryo. The cells of the embryo undergo repeated mitotic divisions. Okay, the cells which are being present in the embryo, they undergo repeated mitotic division. Okay, the cell differentiation starts from the 14th day of conception. When it starts, the cell differentiation, it starts from the 14th day of conception. Cells of different organs like the osteocytes, that is the bone cells, hepatocytes, that is called as the liver cells, and neurons, they are formed due to the differentiation. Okay, the cells, they get differentiated or they get separated into different organs like the osteocytes, the bone cells. Okay, then the liver cells called as the hepatocytes, and neurons which are being formed due to the differentiation. Embryonic cells before differentiation are called as the embryonic stem cells. Okay, the embryonic cells which are before the differentiation, they are called as the embryonic stem cells. So there are 220 different types of cells in the human body. They are formed from the single type cell, that is the embryonic stem cell. Okay, there are near about 220 different types of cells in the human body, and they all are formed from one single type of cell, that is the embryonic stem cell. Thus, stem cells are the primary type of undifferentiated cells with self-multiplying ability, and they are the parent cells of all types of human cells. This property of stem cells, it is called as pluripotency. Okay, as I said you that there are 220 different types of cells. They are being present in the human body. Okay, and they all are formed from single type of cell, that is the embryonic stem cell. Okay, so this embryonic stem cells, the stem cells, they are the primary, they are the basic type of undifferentiated cell, and they are capable of self multiplying themselves, and so they are the parent cells of all types of human cells. Okay, the cell may be of any type, so the parent is the stem cell. Okay, the stem cells, they are called as the parent cell of all the different types of human cells. So this property of stem cells, it is called as the pluripotency. Okay, so here see some important features of pluripotency is given. They are the descendants of totipotent cells. They can differentiate into cells derived from three germ layers, that is endoderm, mesoderm, and ectoderm. They originate as the inner cell mass within a blastocyst, and these stem cells become any type of tissue in the body excluding a placenta. Okay, so they are the like the father, they are like the parent cell of all the types of human cells. So this property, it is called as pluripotency. It has been found that if these stem cells are collected well before the beginning of differentiation on 14th day, that is during 5th to 7th day, and they are cultured with certain biochemical stimulus in the laboratory, as per the stimulus, they can transform themselves into desired type of cells, thereby tissues, and finally into organs. Okay, what it is studied? It is studied and it is found that if these stem cells, they are being collected at the right time before the differentiation, means on the 14th day, that is the 5th to 7th day, and if they are being cultured in proper biochemical stimulus in the laboratory, then as per the stimulus, they can be transformed into desired type of cells and into tissues and finally into the organs. Okay, so their collection and their culture can be done in the laboratory. So the next type of cell, that is the adult stem cells. Now what are adult stem cells? Stem cells can be obtained from the body of adult person too. There are three main sources of stem cells in the body of adult person. Stem cells can be obtained from the red bone marrow, from the adipose connective tissue, and from the blood. Besides, stem cells can be obtained from the cord blood immediate after the birth. Okay, The stem cells, they can be obtained from the adult body, from the body of a adult person as well. So depending upon the sources of the stem cells from the adult person, so they can be obtained from the red bone marrow, they can be obtained from the adipose connective tissue, or they can be obtained from the blood as well. Okay. So beside it, stem cells, they can be also obtained from the cord blood immediate after the birth. Okay. So soon after the birth, they can be collected from the cord blood. So here are certain uses of stem cells. First one, that is the regenerative therapy, that is called as the cell therapy. Stem cells are used to replace the dead cells in case of conditions like diabetes, myocardial infarction, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease, etc. Okay, they can be useful in the regenerative therapy, in which the dead cells, they can be replaced. Okay, they can be replaced in the conditions like diabetes, you know, diabetes, then myocardial infarctions mean heart attack. Okay, then Alzheimer's disease, it is a disease that destroys the memory and it affects the mental functions. Okay, then Parkinson's disease, it is the disorder of the central nervous system that affects the movement and tremors. Okay, so in this regenerative therapy, the stem cells, they can be of great importance, as they can be replaced, they can replace the dead cells. Okay. Then the next is organ transplantation. Okay, where the stem cells, they can be used, they can be used in the organ transplantation. In case of failure of organs like kidney and liver, those can be produced with the help of stem cells and they can be transplanted. Okay, if there is any failure of the organ like the kidney or the liver, so they can be produced with the help of the stem cells. Okay, and they can be transplanted. So here a list of different organs which can be transplanted. You can see here like kidney, heart, then heart valves, liver, bone, cornea, skin, connective tissue, lungs, pancreas, intestine, and bone marrow. Okay, so these are the different organs of human body which can be transplanted. So various organs in the human body either become less efficient or completely functionless due to various reasons like aging, accidents, infections, or disorders. Okay, it happens now. Many a times you might have seen many people, they suffer from different illnesses. Just like the organs in their body, they stop their functioning due to many reasons. It may be because of the aging, it may be because of accidents or any kind of infection, or it is because of the disorder. So life of such people, you can see it becomes very difficult and it can even lead to death. So if a person gets the necessary organ under such conditions, that his organs, if they can be transplanted at the right time, so his life can be saved, right? So organ transplantation, it is very, very important, as the life of the person can be saved just by replacing, or we can say by transplantation of the organ. So availability of donor is an important requirement in the organ transplantation. Okay, for the organ transplantation, donor is very important, donor is necessary. So if I give you an example, just like we are having a pair of kidneys in our body, right? So as the process of excretion, it occurs with the help of single kidney, a person can donate another one. Okay, if we take the example of kidneys, so they are being useful in the excretion process, right? So a pair of kidneys, there are two kidneys. So out of these two, even the life can a person can survive on one kidney. Okay, so if he can be able to donate the one kidney, so then also his life processes can go on smoothly. Okay, so a pair of out of a pair of kidney, a, a single kidney can be donated. Okay, likewise, skin from the certain parts of the body, they can also be donated. Okay, skin can also be donated from parts of our body. Then various factors like blood group, diseases, disorders, age, etc. of the donor and the recipient need to pay attention during transplantation. Okay, it is very important to check the blood groups, whether the person is suffering from any kind of disease or if he is having any kind of disorder, what is his age. Okay, so these all things, these all factors, they are being very important of the donor as well as of the recipient, and they need to be checked, they need to be paid proper attention before transplantation. Okay, if any donor or if any recipient is suffering from any kind of disease or any kind of the blood group should match, and all the terms which are being necessary before transplantation, they need to pay a proper attention. Okay, however, other organs cannot be donated during lifetime. Organs like liver, heart, eyes can be donated after death only. Okay, there are certain organs which cannot be donated during the lifetime. They can be donated only after death, like the liver, then heart and eyes. This had led to the emergence of concepts like posthumous, that is after death, donation of body and organs. Okay, so many people are being educated about this donation of different organs. Okay, so that can be done in the organ donation, or we can say that it is a body donation. So human bodies are disposed of after death as per traditional customs. However, due to progress in science, it has been realized that many organs, they remain functional for certain period even after death occurs under specific conditions. Okay, as you know that the human body, once it is dead, so it is being disposed of, okay, as per the traditional customs. And due to the progress in science, it has been realized that the organs, they remain functioning in the body, okay, for a certain period of time, even after the death. Okay, so concepts like organ donation and body donation have emerged recently after realization that such organs can be used to save the life of other needful persons. Okay, as the science has been developed, it has realized that the organs, they remain alive, they are functioning for certain period of time even after the death. So if we educate people about organ donation and body donation, so you can see that the organs, they can be used up and the life of other needful persons, they can be saved. So a liberal view behind the concepts of organ and body donation is after death, our body should be useful to other needful persons so that their miserable life would become comfortable. Okay. If we educate people regarding this, that they should donate their organs, they should donate their body after death, so that their organs, uh, they can be of a great importance for the for saving the life of other needy persons, right? So if this awareness, if this education is being spread to everyone, so many lives they can be saved. So awareness about these concepts is increasing in our country, and people are voluntarily donating their bodies. Okay, many people, they are being following this, they are being educated about all these things, and they are being ready to donate their organs after their death. So life of many people can be saved by the organ and body donation. Blinds can regain the vision. Life of many people can be rendered comfortable by donation of organs like liver, kidneys, heart, heart valves, skin, etc. Okay. You all know that many a times the blind peoples, they can regain their vision if the eyes are being donated. Okay, so organ donation is very important. You can donate the organs like the liver, kidneys, heart, heart valves, skin, etc. Okay, similarly, body can be made available for research in medical institutes. Okay, many medical colleges, so for the research purposes, this body, they can be available. Many government and social organizations, they are working towards increasing the awareness about body donation. Okay, our government as well as social organizations, they are working in encouraging people to donate their body organs. Okay, awareness is being created about body donation. So organ donation and transplantation is under the control of Transplantation Human Organs Act, that is 1994, and subsequent amendments of 2009, 2011 and 2014, so that overall process would be transplant and any person would not be cheated. Okay, a proper act is being made, that is called as the Transplantation Human Organ Act. Okay, it was being this act came into existence in 1994, and many amendments like of 2009, 2011 and 2014, they all are in process, so that the person, he should not be cheated, okay, during the transplantation. So organ donation and organ transplantation, it is very, very important. Okay. So here we have completed with our today's point. Now we will do a small question answer session. Those students who know the answer, just raise your hands and give me the answer. The very first question is, what are cells? Can anyone say me what are cells? Yes, you can unmute yourself and give the answer. What are cells?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, good morning.
Good
Ma'am,
morning.
cell is a fundamental unit of our body.
Very good. Cell is the fundamental. We can say it is to be the basic unit of body. Very good. Next, can anyone tell me what are tissues?
टीचर मैं बोलूं?
हाँ बोलो बोलो।
Tissue, a group of similar cells that are specialized to perform a specified function.
Very good. What are tissues? These are the similar group of cells which are specialized for performing similar functions. Very good. Next is, what are the uses of stem cells? Can anyone tell me what are the uses of stem cells? Yes, give the answer. What are the uses of stem cells? Hello, whose mic is on? Give the answer. What are the uses of stem cells? Students, can you hear me? The third question, what are the uses of stem cells? Those who know the answer, just raise your hand and unmute yourself. Yes, tell me what are the uses of stem cells, everyone? What are the uses of stem cells? Yes, Sanu Mishra. Yes, unmute yourself. Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, stem cells are used to replace the dead cells in case of condition like diabetes, myocardial infarction, Alzheimer diseases, Parkinson diseases, etc. To produce
Very
blood
good.
cells required in conditions like anemia, thalassemia, leukemia, etc. In case of failure of organ like kidney and liver, those can be produced with the help of stem cells and transplant.
Very good. So you have said me the very well, good answer. So next question is, how are stem cells preserved? How the stem cells can be preserved? What is the condition? Yes, Roshni. Those who know the answer, just unmute yourself and give. Anju Yadav. Unmute yourself. I can see the two hands raising. Yes,
Hello.
Roshni. Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
After collection, cord blood is delivered to the stem cell laboratory where it is processed to extract the stem cell as well as detect any viruses and bacteria. Then stem cells are frozen with the help of a special program and preserved
in liquid nitrogen at 196 degree Celsius.
Okay, very good. Very good, Roshni. See how the stem cells they are preserved. For the purpose of preservation, the stem cell samples they are being carefully collected from the sources like the cord blood or the red bone marrow or the embryo blastocyst, and they are kept in the small sterile wells. Okay, and those wells are kept in the liquid nitrogen at a temperature of about minus 135 degrees Celsius to minus 190 degree Celsius. Okay, so in this way the stem cells are preserved. I hope that you all have understood our today's point. Okay, just we will revise all the points once again. Starting from the very first. Firstly, we have learned what are cells. Cells are the smallest unit which are capable of performing the different life functions. Okay. Then what are tissues? Tissues are the group of similar cells that are being specialized to perform the special functions. Then we have learned what are cell organelles. These are the different organs of the cell. Okay. Then what is cytology? It is the branch of science which deals with the study of cells. So for this purpose, many national centers are being established for the study of cell. They are being at Pune, and INSTEM is the Institute for Stem Cell Science and Regenerative Medicine. It is at Bangalore. Okay. Then we have learned what are stem cells. Stem cells, these are the special types of cells which are being present in the body of multicellular organism. Okay. Initially, when at the early stage of development, all organisms, they are in the form of a mass of cell. Okay. In this mass of cell, all the cells, they are almost alike. Okay, so these cells, they are called as the stem cells. These stem cells after further development, they can be transformed, they can be developed into many different types of cells, different types of tissues, and they can perform the different functions in the body. Okay, so this is called as the differentiation of cells. Then we have learned what is zygote. Zygote is a fertilized eukaryotic cell that forms after the union of the male and female gametes. Okay, so these stem cells, they are capable of forming the different types of cells in the human body, like the muscle cells, sex cell, immune cell, epithelial cell, nervous cell, blood cell, bone cell, and fat cell. Okay, so these are the different types of cells which are being formed in the human body. So stem cells, they are present in the umbilical cord by which the fetus is joined to the uterus of the mother. Okay, then they are also present in the blastocyst, that is the early stage of embryonic development. Then they are also present in the red bone marrow. They are also present in the adipose connective tissue of adult human being. Okay, so it is very necessary to preserve the stem cells. Okay, so they are being preserved at a very low temperature, about minus 135 degrees Celsius to minus 190 degrees Celsius in liquid nitrogen. Okay. Then we have seen the stem cell preservation. It is done in the sterile wells. Okay, they are being carefully collected from the sources like the cord blood or the red bone marrow. Okay, so stem cell preservation is very, very important. Then we have seen the stem cell research. Depending upon the source, the stem cells are of two types, as embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells, right? So embryonic stem cells, they can be formed by the mitotic cell divisions, okay? Then the stem cells, adult stem cells, they are obtained from the body of the adult person. Then these stem cells are of great importance as they can be useful to replace the dead cells in case of conditions like diabetes or myocardial infarctions, Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease. Okay. Then they can be also useful in the organ transplantation. Okay. Organ transplantation in case of any failure of any organ. So these stem cells, they can be useful. Then we have learned about organ transplantation, that many organs in the human body, either they become less efficient or they become completely functionless due to many reasons like aging or due to accident or due to infections. So they can be transplanted by other organs. Okay. And for this purpose, the donor is being very important. So organ donation, its awareness and its education should be spread to everyone so that the life of the needy person can be saved. So I hope that you all have understood. Okay, ma'am. Hello.